Hello everyone, welcome again. Today we are going to solve threat modeling rooms of security engineer room. To solve this room, you can run your attack box and then split it another screen to make it full screen. And that's all we need. Now we can begin. First one is introduction part. Here we don't need any answer. Second one is threat modeling overview. And here we have some questions that you can find from the text easily. When you read these paragraphs, you can solve this question, guys. Anyway, let's move on. First question, what is a weakness or flaw in a system, application, or process that can be exploited by a threat? The answer is vulnerability, as you can guess. Second question, based on the provided high-level methodology, what is the process of developing diagrams to visualize the organization's architecture and dependencies? It is asset identification. Can you find here? Easily, yes. As you can see, asset identification. Develop diagrams of the organization's architecture and its dependencies. Let's go on. What diagram describes and analyzes potential threats against a system or application? The answer is attack tree. Let's try to find attack tree's definition here. Actually, we found quickly. An attack tree is a graphical representation used in threat modeling to systematically describe and analyze potential threats against a system, application, or infrastructure. Let's move on with modeling with the Mitre attack framework. It's a great framework actually. You have to be comfortable with it if you want to work in this job file. It is very useful and it's a necessary knowledge actually. Anyway, first question, what is the technique ID of exploit public facing application? To solve this question, you can just click this link, and after click here you can find the answer of this question, but I don't remember how. Let's for a quick example, let's examine of this technique framework. Okay, what was the question? What is the technique ID of exploit public facing application? Okay, to see the ID you can check the box which is here. Here we have some information about this exploit public facing application. As you can see, there is an ID number here, sub-techniques parts, tactics, platforms, contributors, version, and date of creation, and last modified date. Okay, for the first question the answer is T1190. Second question, under what tactic does this technique belong? To solve this question, let's make a quick search under which technique, which tactic actually, and you can see the tactic here easily. The tactic is initial access. Okay, under what tactic does this technique belong? And the answer is initial access. Yes, initial access. Let's move on with the mapping with attack navigator. To solve this question, you have to start your machine and it will give you an URL, and you should go to this URL to solve this question. Let's open our browser and go to this URL. What was the IP address? 1010. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have a Mitre attack framework here. we have to create a new layer. Just click on it, and there are three options. We have to select enterprise options to solve this question. Okay, now as you can see, we have a new interface. It seems a little bit complicated, but when you spend some time on it, you can easily adapt it. Actually, it's not as hard as seems. It is actually user-friendly. Anyway, let's move on with our questions. First question: how many Mitra attack techniques are attributed to this group? The definition of this APT is Advanced Persistent Threat. And to solve this question, we have to type here. First, you should click on this search button, and then you come here and type this group. Okay, now we have some values, some data here, but nothing has changed. To change something, we have to select one of these options. Here we have, let's close all of them. Here we have some tabs: techniques, threat groups, software, mitigations, campaigns, and data sources. For the groups, for this group, we have to open this button and then click on select for APT33. When we click select, here we have a little number which is 31, which is our answer. This little value shows the selected values. Okay, for example, here we have 31 values, 31 outputs for APT33, and the answer, which is how many Mitra attacks techniques are attributed to this group. The answer for this question is 31. You can see from this button here a little number. Anyway, let's move on to the second question. Upon applying the infrastructure as a service platform filter, how many techniques are under discovery tactic? As you can see, we have some tactics here, we have some techniques here, and we are sorry, we are looking for discovery techniques. Here we have 30 techniques, but we need the techniques which is for infrastructure as a service. And to solve this question, you should come here. Here there are filters for platforms, and as you can see, all the platforms are selected. If we only want to see for IaaS, then we have to deselect all the platforms except infrastructure as a service one. Okay, and here only selected platform is this one, and now we can see the techniques for this platform. For initial access there are 3 techniques, for execution there are 2 techniques, but we are looking for discovery techniques, and as you can see we have 13 techniques for infrastructure as a service platform, and the answer is 13. Let's move on with threat framework. What threat DREAD component assesses the potential harm from successfully exploiting a vulnerability? The answer is damage. Here is the definition of damage. Second one, what threat component evaluates how others can easily find and identify the vulnerability? So the answer is easy, it is discoverability. And when you read this definition, you can understand why. You can understand from its name actually. And which threat component considers the number of impacted users when a vulnerability is exploited? It is of course affected users. You can just read the definition from here. Let's move on with the Stride framework. Here we have some enjoyable practice questions. We have to view site to solve these questions, guys. And now let's move on with the questions. First one. What foundational information security concept does the Stride framework build upon? The answer is CIA triad, confidentiality, integrity, and availability triad. And you can read it from this sentence. Where was it? Okay, as you can see, the table above also provides what component of the CIA triad is violated. The Stride framework is built upon this foundational information security concept, which is this one. Okay, and here as you can see, we have some policy violated part and authentication, integrity, confidentiality, availability. The main framework or the main concept here is CIA triad. Okay, what policy does information disclosure violate? Of course, it's confidentiality. If you don't know about CIA triad, you can just make a quick search and learn it. It is actually an easy concept to learn. So you can just make a quick search to learn it. Anyway, third question: which Stride component involves unauthorized modification or manipulation of data? It is tampering. Let's read it if you don't know about it. Where is it? Yes, unauthorized modification or manipulation of data or code, and it violates the integrity. Fourth question: which Stride component refers to the disruption of the system's availability? The main keyword is here: systems availability. There is an attack called denial of service, and it directly affects the availability of system. Provide flag for the simulated threat modeling exercise. Okay, to solve this question, you can just come here and click on this button, and after that, guys, you have to click this door, and here we have some instructions. You can read them. I won't. And first room for us is software development. Okay, here there are some dialogues. You have to read all of them actually to understand it better, but I already done it before, so I will just show you the answers and their reasons. Information security. Here we have some another dialogues. Strategic planning. Okay. Network infrastructure. Okay. It's presentation time. Insecure web application search functionality leading to SQL injection, and we will mark the applicable Stride components for each use case. And for this one, which is insecure web application search functionality leading to SQL injection, it is tampering, which is unauthorized modification or manipulation of data or code. It might happen because of SQL injection. And another component is information disclosure. We can tamper the data, and we can read the data that actually we shouldn't see or we shouldn't read. and we call it information disclosure. Let's submit our answer. Second one, insecure AWS infrastructure without load balancers. Here we have a tricky part. First one, of course, without load balancer, there might be some problems with systems availability, and it can cause the denial of service attack. And another one is information disclosure, because RDS means relational database systems, and it's related to our database, and if there is a problem about this database or this system, it can affect these components. Information disclosure, okay? Mail server with no logging enabled. Of course, the answers is spoofing. The answers are spoofing and reputation. Here is why. First, learn the spoofing. Unauthorized access or impersonation of a user or system, and reputation means ability to deny having acted, typically due to insufficient auditing or logging. If you don't log for mails, for example, when a problem comes out, you can't know, you can't find the logs, and you can't know about who sent this mail and who did it, when did it. If you don't log these values, you can't find those answers. So there might be a spoofing operation with this vulnerability or repudiation. Here we have a scenario, actually, sending a spoofed mail wherein the mail gateway lacks email security and logging configuration, and the affected components of Stride framework here are spoofing and repudiation. Okay, and the last one, unpatched employee workstation. Of course, if there is something unpatched, there might be lots of exploits about it, and this can affect actually our authorization operations, and because of that we have some problems with elevation of privileges and tampering, because if you have some privileges, if you have some high privileges, you can affect the data, you can change them, you can manipulate them, you can tamper them in general. Okay, here we have a mail success. Here we have our flag. You can just copy and paste it. Let's move on with Pasta framework. Let's open it and go to the questions. In which step of the framework do you break down the system into its components? It is decompose the application. Where is it? Here. And also here. Break down the system into its components, identifying entry points, trust boundaries, and etc. And during which step of the Pasta framework do you simulate potential attack scenarios? It is analyze the attacks. In which step of the Pasta framework do you create an inventory of assets? It is define the technical scope. You can just read from the paragraph to learn why. Anyway, the last question, provide the flag for the simulated threat modeling exercise. Okay, let's do our exercise. Continue. I need the work with someone who can define the objectives of our threat modeling exercise to identify the critical assets that need to be protected. Okay, let's search for our rooms. Network infrastructure, no. Software, no. Actually, it seems the answer is strategic planning. Yes. If it is true, you can just go to this room. Okay. Hey, I'm currently working on a threat modeling plan and I would like to ask for your expertise. Sure, let me hear it. What are the critical assets and processes in our online banking platform that we need to protect? Our top priorities are to protect our customers' personal and financial data, secure our transactions processing systems, and ensure the availability and integrity of our online banking services. Got it, thanks for this. Okay, I don't know about our infrastructure. I need someone who can define the architecture of our online banking application. Here the secret key is architecture. Got it. Let's search for architecture. Here we have network architecture, but the correct room for this instruction is system architecture. Yes. Hello, can you provide an overview of the application's architecture? Certainly, our online banking platform leverages several AWS services to support its functionality, and we utilize Amazon EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, Relational Database Service, and Amazon S3. We also plan to use Elastic Load Balancer to handle traffic distributions, but that's still in the works. How about the data flows? Can you expound further? We utilize Amazon S3 for storing static assets and files such as customer profile pictures and document uploads, EC2 for hosting microservices via virtual machines, and relational databases for storing customer data. Awesome, thanks for taking. Okay. Next, I need to understand how our online banking application works. So there is an operation about software, yeah, and the correct room for this one should be software development. Yes, it's true. Hey there, can you provide an overview of the application's main features? Sure. The main features of our platform include secure user registration and authentication, account management, fund transfers, bill payments, and account statements. We also offer a mobile app for convenient access to our services. Cool, I'll take note. Okay. Now that I already know how our systems and applications work, I need to align with someone who can point out the potential threats and vulnerabilities that may affect our infrastructure. And for this one, the correct room is strategic planning or information security. I think the correct one is strategic planning. Okay. Oh, that's why we now. Yes. Correct one is information security. Sorry. Hi, can you help me identify potential threats and vulnerabilities to our own key? Okay, absolutely. There are a number of threats we should consider. First, external attackers can try to break into our system via different methods such as brute force attacks, SQL injections, cross-site scriptings, or distributed denial of service. In addition, insecure AVS configurations such as exposed public buckets and RDS endpoints may incur potential risks. Okay. For mitigation, we can implement account lockouts after several failed attempts for brute force attacks. SQL injections can be mitigated by using secure coding practice. For cross-site scripting, we need to ensure data output is correctly encoded And to counter DDoS attacks, we can use service that automatically protect against such as threats and plan for scaling. Okay, let's almost done with the work, and the last thing I need is someone who can provide the potential impact of the identified risk to our organization. And now it has to be this one. Where was it? Strategic planning. Yes. From the business perspective, what do you think will be the impact of the identified threat? Well, these attacks could have several consequences. A successful attack could lead to financial loss for our customers and our bank, regulatory penalties, and significant reputational damage. Okay, let's create our presentation. First one, what should be the top priority for the online banking platforms, as mentioned by the business analyst? The answer is this one: protecting customers' personal and financial data, securing transactions, and ensuring service availability. According to the system architect, what are the primary technical assets of the online banking system? And the answer for this one is this one: Amazon EC2, RDS, and S3 services. What components of the application did the lead developer highlight during the decompose the application phase? And for this question, the answer is user registration, account management, fund transfers, bill payments, and account statements. According to the security engineer, which type of the threat is not considered for the online banking platforms? And the answer for this one is social engineering attacks. We didn't see any info about this one. Which vulnerability was mentioned by the security engineer as a potential issue for the online banking platforms? And the answer for this one is which one? Impact systems like no, it has to be this one: cloud infrastructure misconfigurations. Let's read the question again. Which vulnerability was mentioned by the security engineer as a potential issue for the online banking platform? Yes, it has to be this one. Okay. According to the security engineer, which mitigation strategy does match the identified threats? It has to be... I didn't see anything about it. I didn't also see anything about it, but there has to be something about account lockouts. Yes, this one is a true one. In the risk and impact analysis phase, what potential consequence of a successful attack was mentioned by the business analyst? Okay, unexpected system upgrades, a slight decrease in stock prices. Yes, this one: financial loss and significant reputational damage. Okay, that's great. Here we have our flag. You can just copy it and paste it here, and here we have conclusion parts. Okay, that's all. I hope it will be helpful for you guys. Thank you for watching, and you can subscribe my channel to support me. I will be very happy if you do. Okay, take care of yourselves. I wish all of you nice days.